The jury in the Stephen Lawrence murder trial has heard how one of the men accused of the teenager's murder told police, "I ain't no murderer, I ain't no racist." Our correspondent Ronke Phillips has been in court and has more. Ronke.
Yes, Natasha. Today the court was read transcripts from the first police interviews with Gary Dobson after his arrest in 1993. Mr. Dobson denied murdering Stephen Lawrence and also repeatedly denied knowing his co-defendant David Norris. Today was day 18 of the trial. The court heard Gary Dobson was first arrested at his home on Phineas Pett Road early on May the 7th in 1993, 2 weeks after the murder of Stephen Lawrence. The first time he was interviewed by police, he repeatedly denied knowing David Norris, even though the pair had already been photographed together in an undercover police operation outside the home of brothers Neil and Jamie Acorte, who aren't on trial. Transcripts of Dobson's interviews were read to the jury by Detective Inspector Sean Keep. At one point, Dobson insists, "I ain't no murderer, I ain't no racist." When he was asked to explain references to someone called Dave in his diary, he claimed they were about a Dave Williams. Later, when the name David Norris was put to him, he denied ever having met him. "I don't know who you mean. I've heard the name, but I don't know who you mean," he said. Gary Dobson continued to try and distance himself from David Norris. In all, he was interviewed 3 times, and on each occasion he denied knowing his co-accused. In the final interview, he said, "I know of a David Norris. I've heard his name mentioned just in conversation or whatever. I've not actually met him." When David Norris was arrested and questioned a few days later, also at Bromley Police Station, he refused to answer questions on the advice of his solicitor. The jury was told that both men had agreed to take part in an ID parade. Gary Dobson and David Norris both deny taking part in the gang attack in which Stephen Lawrence was killed at a bus stop in Eltham in south-east London. The trial continues tomorrow. Ronke Phillips, London Tonight, the Old Bailey.
Now, when